from Barnsley, British Masters champion. We've got Gavin McDonnell, Doncaster, St Clair and British Masters champion. We've got Dave Ulley, trainer. Myself, Stefy Bull, promoter. Carl Greaves, manager of Josh Wale. We've got Josh Wale and his father, trainer Mick. Then we've got Wale and Munroe from Leicester. And on the end is trainer Jay Shinfield. So yeah, basically, top of the bill, we've got Josh Wale from Barnsley and Gavin McDonnell. This is a final eliminator, an official final eliminator for British Super Bantamweight title. Final eliminator obviously means the winner of these two guys will be fighting maybe the next fight or within 6 months for a British title. So that's how close and how serious this fight is. It don't need booing up. These two are genuine fighters. They're here by merit, and it's a real fight. And it shows it's a real fight because ringside tickets have already sold out. There's not a ticket left. There is £35 tickets still available, but that's how big of a fight it is. And then we've got chief support, which is big enough to be on any headline on any show. We've got Wale and Munroe, who's a massive legend in British boxing, former world title challenger, European undefeated champion, Commonwealth, list goes on and on. He's been around and done everything, this guy. He's come up a few weights and he's still got lots to offer, and he's still chasing that dream of becoming world champion. Fighting Andy Townend from Barnsley. Everybody local knows Andy Townend, former England international, knocking out people like Tommy Coyle and to name a few. Had a great amateur career and he's doing well in the pros, won British Masters title, not in his last fight but the fight before. So Andy knows what kind of fight this is and he's dead excited about it. So yeah, they're the main fights. So we'll start off, if there's any press got any questions for ourselves or any of these fighters, then fire away.
Yeah, just talking about the top of the bill fight, really. Was it an easy fight to make it all, between Gavin and Josh?
Yeah, well, we'd been trying to make the fight before, but Josh had maybe a British title fight back down at Bantam, so Carl were holding on for that. Obviously, Josh had a better offer, the fight for asking for British title, which then unfolded. And Gavin had a good win last time out with Ross Birkinshaw, so it come back to really easy. We sat down in a meeting, myself, Carl and Mick. We talked about things, I know a few things are, and we strongly believe about working together in future, which I think is great for local boxing. And Mick shared the same ideas as me, that local fights, the derbies, they grab public's imagination, and what's worth putting Gavin McDonnell in, or Josh Wale with so-and-so from London who nobody knows, who don't, you know, boxing's a business. Without TV it's very hard. If you've got two ticket sellers, fights are easy to make. These lads get paid the due and everybody's happy and people are seeing a proper fight and look at interest that it's come today, the proper fight. So yeah, it was quite easy to make, to be honest, and hopefully it's going to be a good relationship for us all in future to be making other local fights.
I think one of the best local fights and one of the biggest atmospheres has been at the Dome, apart from Jamie's fights of course, has been yourself with Josh's brother Gwyn. Do you see it in a similar situation?
Yeah, I mean Gwyn's here, look up there, a bit bigger than me now, but we had we had a fight that I'm very proud to be in, because the great Will Swindles who were training me was worked alongside Dave Ulley sat outside me, was my trainer at the time, and Will followed very high respect over Gwyn. And I can remember him, one of his words before fight said, you know, this is going to be a real fight, this kid's a real fighter. I said, yeah. And it grabbed people's imagination because we're both local, we both played a good part in press, and it was a cracking fight, and a fight that I'm very proud of. And this is going to be very similar. We've got Doncaster, although I'm from Cunningsbury and Gavin actually Doncaster. But this is not a rivalry thing. These kids are, they like each other. You know what I mean? They're going to shake hands after this fight.
We go back a long way, these two. We all go back a long way as well.
We don't need to be a good guy or bad guy in this. This is a real fight, and that's what people want to see. So, but potentially, I think it's going to be as big as myself and Gwyn's. And if it does, then everybody's in for a crack, because that was a real fight.
Josh, you were a stable mate of Gavin's brother Jamie. I don't know when Gavin came along in terms of turning pro, or whether you're still there with John Rushnet at the time. Have you been envious as to see what Jamie's gone on to do?
No, I'm not envious. He's done brilliant. I mean, he's worked hard, he's got his jobs, and Jamie's the world champion now. I mean, he must be proud of his thing. Not many people get a chance to go this and that. I just concentrate on my career. We trained inside, me and Jamie trained inside each other just for a short time when I had one pro fight for John Ruston, then I moved on. So, but I know Jamie and Gavin, they're both nice lads. So yeah.
And I mean, you coming into the fight with more experience, Fox, although the younger of the two. How do you see the fight from your point of view, and where do you think you can win it?
Yeah, I'm very confident winning. I wouldn't have took it, you know what I mean? I'm confident in beating any super bantamweight. But I mean, Stefy's doing well with his lads. He's pushing them on, and if you look how far Gavin's come in a short period of time and turning pro, like you say, I'm probably more experienced because I've been at the high level and fought good kids. You try pushing him on, but every now and again, you know, try pushing so far and you can slip up. So they think he's good enough. So we'll have to wait and see where we're.
Gavin, you've come a long way in a short time, and I think you've got 3 stoppages in the last 4 fights as well. Do you feel you're getting stronger as the fights go on?
Yeah. Each fight that goes on, you know what I mean? With me being in the gym all the time and around good kids, you tend to be picking a lot up, getting better with each fight. Everything, all your training, you're making weight, it's just all experience. So as each fight goes on, you know what I mean, I'm getting better and more experienced along the way.
Do you feel Josh is going to be the toughest opponent?
Oh yeah, without question.
We all know that.
He's fought all the best kids, a lot of bantam, super bantam. He's been in with them all, you know what I mean, he don't get stopped, you know what I mean. He went distance with Stewie Hall, which my brother, you know what I mean, he had a cracking fight with him. So he's up there on levels, you know what I mean, and this fight for me, you know what I mean. I know for a fact it's going to be my hardest fight, because he comes to fight, you know what I mean, at the end of the day. I'm confident in winning the fight, and I think I'm ready for it. It's about time to step it up another level.
How confident are you, Andrew?
100% confident.
Everybody on this table is going to be
Yeah.
confident. That's why we're here, aren't we? So, that's it, you know what I mean? That's it. We're all confident. It's a great fight.
Are you confident, Gav?
He's not good for
I think it's great. It's a good fight. I mean, like Stefy said before, I mean, local fight.
We can't. I'm not here to bullshit anybody. Sorry for my language. If Gavin is dreaming of being a British champion, to become a British champion, you've got to beat a top fighter. Josh is a top fighter, quite capable of winning a British title, he said. So why dream about something if it's not there? So myself and Dave talked about this fight in length, and it's like you say, Gavin's already won a British title eliminator, and he's ranked highly. He's said, so what can we do? The kid's 27-year-old, we can't hold him back. He's seen his brother just win British Commonwealth. I mean, let's be honest, anybody in this room think that Jamie Mack will win a world title 2 years ago?
I didn't think
So this is it, you know what I mean? It's serious, and Dave's confident about the job. I mean, I only manage these kids. Dave's full on with him, so if Dave says yeah, then I know we're in safe hands, and that's what it is. It's a real fight. So, like you said,
it's the only way forward for both fighters, really. I mean, Josh's dream and ambition since he signed me was to be a British champion. I mean, obviously he's lost to Kid Gallagher, who was a top fighter, but Josh 100% in that fight. He can go on all day about excuses and that. If he wins this fight and Kid Gallagher wins his fight against Jazzy Dickinson, then it's going to go on again, that fight. So, and obviously he'll give it 100% to win the British title. That's all he's ever dreamed of.
Do you both think that Gallagher and Dickinson?
There's no question.
I think he'll beat him.
yeah.
Right,
We all feel when Dave does, you agree with me. We all think that, yeah.
You boxed at bantam and super bantam. Where is super bantam where you want to be?
Yeah, super bantamweight is the strongest weight, definitely. I mean, I did bantam.
Rendell's moved up, that's why, isn't it?
Yeah, we're always scared of Rendell. Don't know about me, I'll box anybody. But I think super, but as you get older, you know, your body slows. I do flyweight. if your dad said, look, you
get offered fights.
Yeah,
I mean,
you
I
take
was
the-
saying in my
yeah.
career, I outgrown super featherweight a long time ago. But the phone rang, will you take this fight? You fight so and so, and you're going to say
But
yes.
I'm a lot stronger at super bantam. That's my strongest way.
I mean, I like going back, we're here at Doncaster Dome. I can remember, like you said, Josh mentioned earlier, he had his first fight, his debut at Knockout Winner, actually.
Yeah.
And he was a big bantamweight when he was a kid. You know what I mean? He was a baby. Now he's in his prime years, and he's, like I said, he's gone up and down weights. You've got to just.
Red will tell you all about weight. It's the hardest part of boxing.
It is.
Any
I
boxer
can
will
tell you about weight.
Making weight is the hardest thing about boxing. I mean, they always say the fighting is the easy bit, you know what I mean? Because making the weight, the championship weight, it takes a lot out of you and it is hard work. So
It's a fight in
we
itself
know that with
sometimes,
Josh and
making weight.
super bantamweight, he'll be a lot better and a lot stronger than he was when he fought Stewie all at bantamweight. And he still went the distance here with a top kid. So
Running
them,
on the phone in the world now,
them
so
extra
it's just
£4 will make a big difference in this fight.
Yeah, he's ranked number 4 in the world, yeah.
Exactly. That's
Josh went 12 rounds on one leg.
So
I mean,
that's- we know how serious
Gav's
this
a
fight is.
Gav's a massive super bantamweight as well. I mean, I know the size Gav gets in the ring on the night. He's a big lad. But, I mean, so is Josh. And this will be a proper fight, a real good fight.
We should just matched it at welterweight.
Welterweight on the day would have been better.
Okay, obviously you're a bit limited in what you can do as a trainer because of health. Has this fight energised you in terms of the tactics you can come up with and putting the words against it?
Yeah, I've started shouting a bit louder. Everybody knows, yeah, I mean, I can't. If you come in our gym, I'll just sit in chair. I mean, you know, it's all I can do, but I've got a great manager with Carl, so anything we need, it's there. I've got top lads, you know, other coaches in gym that step up and do things like pads and that, you know, and everybody, you know, we work as a team. I just oversee everything. I just say, look, Josh, this is, you know, I'm working with program and he works the program. So,
Mix the professor.
you know,
He's the one
yeah,
that
I
gets
mean,
the tactics.
I learned
The great Angelo Dundee that never picked up.
exactly. I mean, you know, I mean, don't get me wrong. 10 years ago, you know, I'd be on building sites all day, come home and do 40 rounds on pads, but you've got to adapt, haven't you? You know, and end of the day, Josh, I've given Josh the option many times to get another trainer, get somebody in that can, you know, and he don't want that. You know, he says, as long as you're there, Dad, telling me what to do, the other lads can do, you know, leg work, and it works out really well.
Yeah, so now you'll be doing the tactics instead of, you know, physically.
Yeah.
training. You enjoy that aspect of training?
Well, I do. I mean, yeah, I love it. Yeah, because listen, you can, you know, the thing is with boxing, you know, there's a lot. Look what was on in the boxers' mind. It's all right going out running 20 miles and sparring 30 rounds every night, but if you're doing it wrong or you're not doing it properly, you know, you're not doing it as you should do, then it's worthless. And the thing is, in my experience, is if you don't turn up on the night, you can train for 6 months for a fight, for a 4 round, but if you don't turn up, then you know, you're not going to perform. You know, we've seen it so many times when you walk in a gym and, oh, it's looking brilliant, and then you know, they don't box well. So there's a lot of psychology goes on, and I'm a big believer in it.
Down to symptoms in your
Yeah,
mind.
I'm a big believer in that. You know, I mean, Stefy mentioned the great Will Swindles, and for me, you were a great man, and I spent a lot of my early time in training boxers listening to Will. You know,
You can sit and listen to. He's the type of man
you
who
could
can
just
sit
sit,
and listen.
you could, Stefy, you could sit and listen to him for hours, because you were another one. You know, you could take all, you know, lads on pads, but it weren't, you know, 100 mile an hour stuff.
No, it's saying the right
Technical.
things and the right.
Yeah, and it exactly. So that's where I am now with my, you know, in my coaching, my capacity as a coach is that I try to use my knowledge. I mean, I've been involved with training now for 18 years from amateur pro, and I've had some good kids come, you know, and Josh is one of them. Josh is just one of them. But like I say, yeah, Ash, you've got to adapt. There's some days I can't even get to the gym. I'll be honest with you. You know, I mean, I'm sat here today. Tomorrow I might barely get out of the house. That's that. But we, as a family, we get through that. You know, because I've got Gwyn, who's an ex-professional, knows game inside out. I can rely on Gwyn. I can rely on Josh. All my lads in gym. So that's how we do it. So there we are.
So, Stefan, moving on to Sandy's fight.
Yeah. too soon and you're taking that risk? Well, listen, this is boxing, right? I mean, be able to ask Andy these questions. He said Andy is what I call as a throwback, is what you call a real fighter. And how many fighters in Britain that you know that's had under 10 fights that are going with probably a British great? What about all these Olympians that are turning over and they're fighting Sid Vazak every week? You know what I mean? They're getting to 10-0. We know the result before we get it ring. Andy don't want that. I tried to match him earlier on. I've had him Christian Late, and Andy will say I don't want to fight him. So why we're building it up now? I want to fight somebody who fights. So what can I say to that? One lad just wants to fight. The lad just wants to fight. Simple as. So when I mentioned this fight, obviously I told without anybody knowing, I mentioned it to Jay and his dad, manager, and we had a little natter about it, and I put it to him. Obviously it's a big thing for Randall because Randall's there. A fight two ago, he was fighting for an interim world title on a massive in front of 20,000 people. So, but they know the boxing game is starting now at an old weight. They know it's starting again. So the fight, when I mentioned this fight to Andy, it was like a kid at Christmas. What, really? Yeah. I'm like, yeah, mate. What do you think? And he's like, what? And Jay had been away, or no, Randall had been on holiday. So I'm like trying to get in. What's happening with this fight? Can we make it work? And he said, we can't. And I've got Andy coming to the gym every other day. Is it happening? Phoning him, text message. Is this fight on? Is it happening? And I'm like coming in with just a smile. And I mean, Dave, how much have you tried to hold him back for this? You know what I mean? For training. So the kid wants to fight. So what do? Not stop him from fighting. If I'm not doing my job, he's only going to go elsewhere. You know what I mean? But we know what Andy's capable of. Remember, he's sparring with world champion day in, day out. So we know what he's capable of. So people might think we're chucking a lamb to slaughter here or whatever else they might try and say or whatever. We know what Andy's quite capable of. I mean, people have mentioned the Dougie Cram fight. That's just crazy to go on that. Anybody in boxing knows Jamie had 2 back-to-back defeats and now he's world champion. So to go on a loss to Dougie Cram, who was a lot better. People know he's a lot better than his record suggests. He would have formed international and ABA champion and tough fight. If he were managed correctly, he might be had a different career. But Andy coming too light on day, like you said, we can all make it. Listen, boxing's full of excuse, so I'm not even going to go into it. Andy knows what he did wrong, and if there's any questions to him, fire them away. I mean, that's all it.
Andy, I mean, you know, this is a big fight, a big opportunity. Are you thinking ahead of what could be achieved if you could beat Rendell, or just
Ain't happening. Ain't happening. They might have think somewhere else because it ain't happening. Trust me. It ain't happening. It ain't happening.
Did your last performance leave more confidence?
It ain't happening.
There's some life to give.
Go out and do it, sit down. Once my arms raised up, I'm sorry.
Jason, have you got to fire Rendell up for this? Because
I don't like it, he's firing up. He's just firing him up, that's it, he's in big trouble now.
I tell you what,
The best
all
thing he can do, not
I've heard is Rendell's old man. Flipping it, man. The guy, you know what I mean? I live boxing, I sleep boxing, I shit boxing. I don't drink, I don't smoke. I'm 33 years old.
Seems like the same on the side.
We talk to Jamie about Wale and Munroe.
33 years old.
Come on, Gav, let's start fading the ticket. The ticket line, like, come on, let's get shoes on.
He's still got that teabag vest as well, man. He was sleeping that day.
Too good, wasn't it?
You know what I mean? At the end of the day, fair play to the guy, I give him all the respect. Like I always say, every boxer has got the utmost respect because, you know what I mean, you've got to be a warrior to get in there in the first place, you know what I mean? So I give him, but the thing is, people ain't realising that this fight is as big for me as it is for himself. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I'm still good enough to be a world champion. I don't care what anyone wants to say. There's a few issues what needed ironing out before. Obviously, that's why I got so called that I'm too good for my own good. That's why no other world champion wanted to fight me after Nishioka. When you're hearing things like that, then you think to yourself, what's the point in carrying on? But then obviously, like you say, I sat down with Jason, Mike, my family, and everyone says, Rendell, you got too much still in the tank to stop now. What's the point in stopping? Have a go again, do it all again, have fun, go back to the old Rendell, and obviously, fair play. Because he's come out, he's come to do a job, and like I say, everyone's come to do a job, but I'm being serious. This is another Nishioka fight for me, and there ain't no losing for me. It's simple. You know what I mean? I'm looking to get in there, and if it takes me getting carried out on an ambulance chair, then that's how we're going. Simple. You know what I mean? Because this is it. If I can't beat Andy Townsend, no disrespect. If I can't beat Andy Townsend, then obviously my career's over, innit? Like I said, no disrespect to the guy, fair play, he's getting in there. But for me to be a world champion, I need to be dealing with people like this. Simple.
There's no point asking you if you're confident. Do you expect this to be an easy fight then?
No, everyone asks me the same question. I've had how many fights now? 20 odd fights. They've been asking me the same question. Every single fight is a world title fight. If you're looking at it as an easy fight, you go in there with the wrong mentality, you go in there with the wrong thoughts, and you don't listen to what you've been told to do. Every fight is a world title fight. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you don't fight for a world title if you don't win. So if you look at every fight as a world title fight, Jay McDonnell's the man who'll tell you every fight for him is a world title fight, whether he's defending his European title, whether he's defending his British title. If you don't win it, you don't get the chance. And obviously, like I say, I went to Japan, fought pound for pound best in the world. A little mistakes, like he says, you can make all the excuses you want. Everyone makes mistakes, but I didn't get a second chance after that. So this is my second chance.
A lot of people said, oh, Rendell Munroe's coming back for the money. Rendell Munroe's this, Rendell Munroe's that. Let me tell you, Rendell Munroe came back in Leicester. Rendell Munroe fought for free. Because he ain't going back for the money. He's serious, he wants to be world champion. We got offered, Stefy phoned up about this fight, we had a chat about this fight, and it was still like that because Rendell was on holiday. We got somebody else phoned up, we got offered a bigger deal with a big promoter. We could have signed a big promotional deal, but we decided this is the way forward. He wants to go out, make a statement against Andy Townsend, and then that's it. We're on a roll then, and then we'll go for the big boys.
I mean, you fought for world title, you've beaten two fighters who've gone on to win the world title, and you beat Martinez twice. Where do you see it going if and when you do expect to win this fight? And what way do you expect to campaign at?
At the end of the day, it's like I say, for me, all my fights, I've always said, everyone asks me the question, what are you doing next, what are you doing now? I've got a manager, I've got a trainer, they tell me what I need to do, they tell me I'm fighting, and that's it, and I enjoy it that way. When people start saying, oh, you're going to fight this, you're going to fight that, why don't you fight this? It ain't down to me, I've got a manager, I've got a trainer. They do the talking, I do the fighting, that's it.
Super Feather's going to campaign Super Feather, that's it. Simple, I ain't doing lighter than that.
I'm a big lad, you know what I mean? Obviously, like I say, over the years, I was boxing at 8 stone 10 at 14. I'm 33 years old now. You know what I mean? It comes a time when your body's just telling you, look, it can't do it no more. You know what I mean? It can't keep doing it all the time. Like I say, like Wayne says, once you start getting older and the body starts telling you different, it don't matter how much you try, if the body's telling you it ain't happening, it ain't happening. You know what I mean?
His last 3 fights at super bantamweight, it was necking super bantamweight. But the thing is, when you're on a roll and you're winning, it's difficult to get off that gravy train. It's difficult because you're there and you're winning, and you can't jump from one ship because you're at the top of that league. So what you're going to do? Jump to the next league and drop halfway down. I think I can make this weight, which you can. You can make the weight.
It's how you make it, how you feel.
It's how you fight on the day. It's all right making weight, it's how you fight.
Anybody can make a weight, it's how you can perform.
That's it. If you get in that ring after you made the weight the day before and your fuel level's not full, you're not going to perform, are you? And that's the difference. I mean, there's that one fight at Super Feather against a good kid, but we didn't really want to take the last 106 seconds, wasn't it? So that's it. When it's full tank full, that's it. Somebody's getting bombed.
How did you feel when you saw Martinez win the world title? Were you thinking that could have been you?
I'm a believer that everything happens for a reason, innit? Terrazas is a world champion. I stopped Terrazas. To be fair, I should have stopped Martinez the second time round, but I think the referee looked after him. But then things happen, don't they? Do you know what I mean? Then things happen. At the end of the day, it's been, it's gone. You know what I mean? Obviously, I've got a second chance now to put things right. And obviously, that's what I'm here to do.
Carl, you see a lot of boxing in our country. Can be that many non-televised shows as good as this one.
Cracking show, absolute fantastic show. This Stefy's put together. These two fights, brilliant fights, TV fights all day long, and hopefully, have you got any TV film?
Yeah.
So will be on the internet. So it's a great show and value for money. He's got a cracking undercard. He's got this place set off to a T. Really, it always sells out. Great atmosphere and everybody has a good night. And fair play to him. He's putting on some good shows.
Well, it's ironic you've just said that because this week I've just signed an exclusive 3-year deal with Doncaster Dome, where I get the exclusive rights to promote any professional boxing that is happening here. So, quick rundown that. I mean, boxing's become very hard over the last few years, and you've seen how it's run monopoly-wise on TV, such as if you're not a matchroom fighter, you're not on TV, and if you're not on Box Nation, then it's just very hard to be on TV. And you're only going to be with a matchroom if you're an Olympian or if you're already a champion. So it's very hard to get. It's very hard to make these small shows work. So that's why you need these kind of fights. And it's great that I've got the backing of Doncaster Dome that suits same kind of idea, because how hard would it become if I've got this promotion, for example, on 28th, and then another promoter all of a sudden comes in and wants to put a show on 2 weeks later or 2 weeks before or whatever. And that's what happens in other areas. You've got one promoter promoting on that date, one promoting that, and it becomes impossible to sell because I can supporters come and on current climate come and pay for that show and then come along to that show. It's crazy how it's become. And obviously we're back in at Doncaster Dome, and facilities here are absolutely amazing. Everybody who's fought here will know it's a great atmosphere and a great boxing venue. And to have their backing is brilliant for us, because it gives me the sole right promoter, where now nobody else outside of I have said if TV does come along here, then obviously we'll be able to negotiate something, because I won't stop anybody having a big TV show here. We dream of, that's my dream. I don't dream as a promoter to go up and down the country promoting in different areas and things like that. I'm a Doncaster lad and I'm very proud of Doncaster, and I'm very proud of my roots. And the platform that we give, I mean, Carl's promoting out in Barnsley after this fight. We'll be looking next year at Andy going on one of Carl's shows at Barnsley for his fans to give something back to them, because they've took Andy in here and made it his second home. His support's immense. This fight wouldn't be able to happen without his support. So yeah, going back to what long story is, that the idea is I have signed a 3-year deal with Doncaster Dome where I am the exclusive promoter, so no promoter can promote you. So they get understanding how hard it is. And that's great, I think, for local fighters who I manage and promote, because they know that stability is good and we've got a venue that's helping us out. So yeah, it's exciting times here in Doncaster for boxing.
Just going back to the main event, obviously Josh is fighting, anyone who wants to answer this question, Josh is fighting champions already. Gav wants to be fighting champions, he's looking again at that level. Who does anyone who wants to answer think's got the most to lose?
Josh has got the most to lose, in my opinion, because obviously he's been at an high level. I mean, Gavin just look at this. If he loses, he can probably come back, you know what I mean, at a lower level. Josh is at a level now where he just wants the big fights, and obviously he wants to become British champion.
Yeah, I'd agree with that, yeah. Even though Josh is the younger lad, he's got a lot more experience. I think there's a lot more counting on, you know.
If you look at Josh's record, he's only lost to the very best.
We can't beat about Bush here, right? Gavin's an underdog, we know that. And Andy's a massive underdog. Who's going to give Andy a chance of winning? We certainly are.
I mean,
nobody else is ready to fight.
Yeah, but saying that, Stefy, Andy Townsend's fighting Brennan. Josh boxed Matthew Marsh when he was 20.
Exactly.
You know, and nobody gave him a chance. You know, Matthew Marsh was a tremendous fight. He went 10 rounds.
Top amateur.
And Josh came out of that fight, you know, even though he lost it, with a lot of credibility.
You do, that's
like
the trouble.
This is what it is.
It's what I'm saying. It's what I'm saying regarding
It's not
Gav.
black and white in boxing. It's not all about winning and lose. It's who you box. Now, if you lose to a good kid,
It's how you
put
come
a
out.
performance in.
It's how you come out.
Then you come out with a lot of credibility. If you get blasted in a round,
TV that's
It's very similar to mine and Gwyn.
Yeah.
Remember when I
A
thought
lot
we
of
won a
Gwyn
major,
were
what
20, yeah.
age win 20?
Gwyn were 20.
19, 20. I was like 28-year-old. I mean, it was the same kind of thing. The banter impressed when I'm an old man and all
They
this
have
kind
that
of
dip,
stuff.
you know,
And-
the dip
and
the
it's-
toes in the championship level. To
It's,
see where they are, you know, and that's what, exactly what, for me, that's what these lads are doing. Yeah.
Andy, you've heard how, well, for want of a better word, confident Rendell sounds in his fight. Has that made you concerned at all that you might be off more than you can chew on the road?
No, just going out there and getting my fight. So, it's not going to work out.
See, you know, you journalists will know as well when I'm talking about you go on Box Rec, you find a kid who's 22 and 0, fought nobody. You know, there's local kids here, I could name you, that's still fighting, same kid in the 20th fight that's fighting the 4th in the 2nd. Now when they come to retire and you finish in boxing, now what you want to do is leave a legacy. Now that's right, isn't it? Now, no matter what happens, win, lose or draw, you can say, you know, you can say to your kids or your grandkids, I fought him, I gave him a good fight. And that's what it's about your legacy. Like Rendell's talking, he hasn't fulfilled it yet. That's why Rendell's sat here, he knows he's still got something to offer. And that's what it's about in boxing. These lads want to leave a legacy. Rather than just come and take easy fights all the time. Because they can sell a few tickets, oh yeah, we'll get him from London who's not won a fight. And all you're doing is kidding public. Like Stefy touched on that, you know, the working man can't afford to come and throw money and waste the money. They want to see real fights. And going back to that, these lads want to be in real fights. Now if you're a fighter, you know, like the great Nigel Benn, I mean, he got knocked out with Michael Watson, you know, for Commonwealth title, they wrote him off. He went to Italy and won a world title. You know, so I know that people might say that's a different level, but these kids are capable of getting to that level if they stick with it and they work hard. And picking odd loss up along the way doesn't destroy it. As long as you learn, it's all about learning. It's
We've
going
got
to destroy anybody's
examples
career.
sat here, haven't we, Jamie?
Yeah.
Two back-to-back defeats. He lost to bloody Edwards. Jamie will not even know his name now.
Yeah, because
I mean, let's be honest, right? When Jamie won British title, who did he? I mean, Jamie, did you he become European champion overnight?
Yeah.
I mean, it's absolute. Let's be totally honest. Like I said at the beginning, who would have thought Jamie was going to be a world champion 12 months ago, 2 years ago? Nobody. It comes, and then you start believing. Starts believing.
Same as Rendell for Andy Morris early on.
For
Lost to
English,
Andy Morris, went on to big European title, defended it how many times, European
101,
title, then went to Japan.
But he fought him at featherweight again, didn't he?
Yeah.
Realised they were a super bantam, they were unstoppable.
And then went to Japan and fought pound for pound one of the best in the world at the
People have been
time.
asking me, street or boxing people or whatever, have you got Wale and Munroe? Have you got Wale and Munroe? Well, this is how it is. Boxing, the Shinfields are they hold the game inside and out, and they understand what boxing is all about. You see, now Randall's been at the very best at super bantamweight. It's like starting again now. But who in country wants to fight? Who wants to fight Wale and Munroe, somebody his calibre? Nobody wants to fight him. So if you've got a champion, right? If you've got a champion, who's going to give Randall a voluntary defence? Nobody. Nobody's going to give him a voluntary defence. So he's got to go out now and earn himself a mandatory position. And obviously, we had his good run of form and his good amateur background. This has been passed by the Boxing Board of Control officially as an English title eliminator, so the winner will be fighting for an English title. And listen, me, myself, Dave, would you put Andy Townend in the ring if you didn't believe he could win? That's how serious we are, people. This kid can win, and we strongly believe on 28th he is going to win. You'll all be seen. That's why we're here. We're not putting him in thinking blind of this. The kid's going to win. Ask him his son. What's he going to do?
No way.
He's been fighting at highest level. I mean, I know Randall's on a different when he went on the pro game, but Andy's been fighting since he was a baby, knocking good fighters out who are doing well now as a pro. And he this is his, like Randall and his team have said, this is Andy's world title fight, right? Anybody who knows boxing, what's this young man here got to lose? What has he got to lose if he was to get beat? He'll be boxing again in December, and he come. Well, that's the thing. But that's the, you know what I mean. You need to think it. These know Randall's got everything to lose because if he was to lose, what's he going to do after that?
He said he'll quit earlier.
Well, that's it.
Well, that's it.
That's
That's
it.
how
That's
serious
it.
it
That's
is.
it.
Yeah,
That's the
exactly-
pressure upon ourselves.
That's the fight, and that's how serious it is. We strongly believe that we can win this fight. That's why we're here. So simple as. Is anybody else for it? Is any audience want to ask any questions, but sensible ones? No, silly.
Is that ginger?
That's it. Yeah, no, it's fake strawberry. So yeah, we've got any more questions, guys? We'll have a few pictures if they get no more questions with these. And right, clap for these. A quick one. On next Saturday, we will be having a ring in Doncaster Dome. And all my fighters, Jamie will be down here. We're doing open training sessions for public. We might even let Gavin and Jamie, what's not been seen before, do a few rounds.
If he wants it.
But that's if the chief only
That's
wants
the
to
ideal
let them
sparring
see.
partner for someone like Josh Wale, that is, I tell you.
And but yeah, we are.
It looks a bit heavy for everybody on top team.
Yeah. So we will have a ring in it. It's going to be open to the public. We're going to be training throughout, probably from 12 o'clock in the afternoon for a couple of hours with all the fighters and stuff. All right. Any photographers that don't want any pictures or one-on-one